Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
You've got enough mundane tasks on your to-do list. Don't let your workout be one of them. Laugh so hard you stop pedaling as LOL Cody, Peloton's take on a late-night talk show, spills the celebrity and pop culture tea. Then try a disco run on the tread or a scenic row through Mission Bay, San Diego. Who knows, you might even forget you're working out. Try Peloton tread, row, or bikes risk-free with a 30-day home trial. New members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker. Joining me today is the one, the only, the impressive, the hilarious, the all-around perfect, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome.
What a sweet way to introduce me, you wonderful man.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to Watch What Crappens, Crappens on Demand episode. Go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens to gain access to this wonderful video where you can watch us podcast, not just listen. You get to watch all our crazy facial expressions, and maybe you'll see Bueller. Maybe you'll see someone in the window behind me. I don't know. But go there, and you can also get access perhaps to our... If you subscribe at the Patreon on-demand level, you get access to our weekly bonus episode. This week's bonus episode was so pressing, so urgent, so important that we actually made it free for the masses, and it was all about Ariana and Tom. I'm not even going to say Tom and Ariana because he doesn't deserve to lead that duo. It's Ariana and Tom. So that was free on our feed in case you missed it. But normally that all lives on Patreon. And we also have a Discord server, so go check that out. Also, this week, in 2 days from now, we are going to Charlotte, beautiful, beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. And we will be recapping Vanderpump Rules there. So that is going to be a rowdy, crazy night. We're not trying to incite violence or destruction, but we do encourage lots of booing and emotive rage, okay? So come join us. It's going to be so fun. It'll be crazy. This is going to be a wild night. And then 2 days after that, we're going to wonderful Atlanta. We always have so much fun in Atlanta, and we're going to be recapping part 1 of the Miami reunion. So it's gonna be a wild week for us with our live shows and our regular shows, and we hope you join us for all of it. Tickets, by the way, are at watchwhatcrappens.com, and we've heard that the Charlotte Theater is close to selling out. So do not hesitate. So that's like I think that's all the big stuff, Ronnie. I think that's everything that's fit to print.
Okay, well, sounds good to me.
Let me also mention, of course, we are going to Denver and Salt Lake City later this month. We are going to recap the premiere of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip in Salt Lake City. And we'll do Vanderpump Rules in Denver. And then the week after that, we'll be doing San Francisco and Seattle. Don't know what we'll be recapping in those cities, but that is our plan for March. And there's like a million more cities if you go to watchcrappens.com. That's it. I'm done. I finished the spiel, the opening spiel.
Oh, good. I was just replying to a comment that says their ears are bleeding after listening to us. I just said, good luck with your ears and get used to it, fucker. Because that's what we do.
Their ears are bleeding? Does that mean
yeah,
that
they're like, I tried to
listener?
listen to your podcast, but I can't. The voices are cringy and my ears are bleeding. Now, listen, you're not the first person to say this, okay? Mm-hmm. But we are who we are, and we're not changing shit for you. So move along now. Good luck with your fucking ears. That's what I have to say, because I'm ready to yell and do some cringy shit voices, okay? That's what I do.
I hate to break
Sometimes
it to
you need to love your cringy self. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do today.
I mean, I hate to break it to this person, this wonderful person who went out of their way to tell us that our voices are cringy, but we've been doing this for 11 years, and that's kind of our brand. So, I mean,
cringy is our brand.
Yeah, it's not called Watch What is Fabulous.
If you're not asking yourself what the hell you're doing with your life at least 5 times an episode listening to us, we're doing it wrong, okay?
Yeah.
Normally, I wouldn't read that aloud. I just was literally reading it while you were talking. Yeah, you know, because like when it's your turn to host, I get time to Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like when you get two minutes off at work and you're like, oh my God, it's like smoking a cigarette. Like you have all the time in the world just reading all the comments. And I was like, how dare you? How dare... And then I was like, well, you are a cringy, screamy beast. So just wear it like a sweater and go to school, okay?
I just can't believe they think that we're cringy. Meanwhile, I'm really looking forward to New Jersey this week when I'm sure Teresa will be like... Meanwhile, every voice of ours is...
No, not into the mic. Away from the mic.
I couldn't even do it. It's okay.
You have to away from the mic. You see, like
away
that.
From the mic. Away from the mic. Yeah. So actually, we're not talking New Jersey today. We're talking Below Deck.
Yes.
And there will be many cringy accents and voices. If there's one thing that we're really good is, I feel like in many ways, we Watch What Crappens envisions a utopian world where
I believe in haves and have-nots.
There are no borders. There are no countries. There's just one generic English, Australian, South African accent. And that is what we bring to this globe.
Listen, we're aiming to be slightly better than Siri. Okay, the Australian accents on Siri or the South African, because they're terrible. I don't know how people are letting Siri get away with this shit, because it's embarrassing. But no, I actually don't believe in utopia at all. I'm all about haves and have-nots and like really fighting to become a have, even though it's probably never going to happen. Because you know what? That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. Okay.
The original name of this podcast was Watch What Class Conflict. Yeah.
Watch what I could possibly have that maybe you don't. You know? Yeah. Watch what I could be jealous of you for having.
If there was any network that was concerned with the haves and have-nots, it's Bravo. I mean, Bravo's literally built their brand off of it. The Real Housewives is all about the people who have. But do they really have? Are they the haves or are they the have-nots?
But it's also the have-nots, right? Because like this show is the have-not show where you just watch people clean toilets. And we like that too. We do not like in the middle. And that's what I'm saying. You have to have it or you have to have not have it. Nobody wants you to kind of have it. Or like maybe have enough credit to pretend you have. Like nobody likes the middle class stuff. Like Sweet Home Oklahoma, great show. Bye.
Game of Crowns. Bye.
Middle class. Bye.
Middle class. Bye.
There's no middle.
There's no. What are some other middle class? I mean, middle class. That's TLC, right?
Long Island Princesses.
Or how about Secrets and
No,
Lives?
TLC isn't middle class. I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't watch.
Maybe lower.
I don't know.
I don't know. What the fuck do I know?
A&E. I don't know.
And this isn't in my real life that I feel this way. It's on my television that I feel this way.
I love our on the fly, like
sociology, social commentary,
social, whatever the fuck we're doing right now. I love that we're doing it. I can't think of the words. I don't know. I have too much caffeine in my system, and I have a bagel in. So let's just go on with Below Deck. So it's 2 hours before the charter. Captain Lee is back on the boat, and first order of business, gotta look in a coffee cup. God, need a PhD or something to figure this out. This is like trying to describe sociology on a podcast. It's crazy.
And then he has a sip, and he's like, I feel better than a cat getting his belly rubbed. Yeah, you should, because Captain Sandy changed your fucking life, and I hope you remember it, because she does. On her Instagram, I'm going to look it up so I read it. So I read this quote.
While you look that up, I'm going to say thank you for clarifying that, because I wrote it down as, I won't feel better until I get this belly rubbed. And I thought, that's strange. What a strange thing to say. But your version makes much more sense.
You were just going to, ignore it, so it wasn't anything... what is her name on Instagram? Captain
Sandra Yan. Sandy Yan.
Captain Sandra Yan. Okay, here it is. Look at this picture for people on demand. It's Captain Sandy, and her chief.
She loves a
not
crossed
chief
arm.
stew, but her captain crossing arms, smiling, looking real pretty.
She's never. If you take a photo of her, she will never ask, "What should I do with my hands?" She knows.
She could be on Top Chef actually, which is coming back. This is totally a Top Chef pose, isn't it? Except
Top
she's
Chef
smiling.
will be on Monday, by the way, everyone. We think.
Yeah, it's coming. So anyway, she's doing her Top Chef pose, and she's done one of those quote pics on Instagram. And it's in like a pretty font, and it says, I hope for the crew that having Captain Lee back, that they shine, that they show him how far they've come. I hope that he gets to witness that and walking away knowing he's healthier, he's better, and he finished with an excellent crew. I changed lives. I did this for you, Captain Sandy. I don't know who fixed your nerves, but I know who fixed your boat. Captain Sandra Yan.
And most of all, I hope you dance.
I hope you dance.
God, I hate that song. God, I hate that song.
Oh, God, I hate that
That's
song
such a
too.
terrible
And it's
song.
like every wedding plays
I
that song.
apologize to everyone. I don't apologize. I'm sorry for people who played that at their weddings. That and Butterfly Kisses.
Oh, God.
Can we just come up with a playlist of the worst wedding songs? Like, just the worst. The Justin Timberlake, like, Can't Stop the Feeling. And then Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. And
I like that one. I was a latecomer to that song, Uptown Funk. When I first saw it, didn't he premiere that at the Super Bowl or something? I remember when I first saw it, I was like, I don't get that. I don't like this song. I don't like the sound of it. And now when it comes on, it like takes me years to do it. But now I'm like, yes, Uptown Funk gonna funk you up. Like dance around like a mom in the Home Goods. I'm like, yeah. Uptown Funk is gonna funk me up.
It's gonna funk you up.
I hope you dance.
Well, I'm not gonna fucking dance.
When did that girl ever apologize for making people's ears bleed? Okay,
Was that Leanne
get in
Womack
line.
or something? Suzanne something another.
Literally
Either way,
don't care.
Literally
Yeah.
don't care. Hate her song.
So-
She ruined our society. So
Yeah,
Ben
she
and
did.
Rob,
She ruined
did.
Utopia.
She that's why you don't believe in utopias, because songs like that exist.
That's why I hate the middle class. I blame the middle class for that.
That's such a middle class song. Only people from the middle class would like that song. It's not Bravo.
Okay,
This is ostensibly
so
about a yacht. This show, this recap.
I
So,
feel cracked out today, and I don't know
me
why.
too. I'm just
Except
like-
for all of this green tea, this natural green tea.
I think that like now that the crappies are over, it's like I feel like we're free.
Yeah, you need to
So-
let go and just and let yourself live your life.
Who
Okay.
sings that song? I hope you dance. I hope you dance. think it's
I hope
Leanne-
you.
It's Leanne
I don't know
Womack. Womack. Oh God!
Fucking
Look at her.
Womack. Shut
Look at her
up.
hair. Look at her hair
Oh,
in this
hold on.
video. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
She just hold on. I'm gonna pull
I
the
want to see
picture.
her hair. I want to see Womack hair.
I
want
hope
to see
you
I
see
hope
her
you
hair.
dance. I
You
want
know
to
what?
see
She's
I
bad
hope you
because
dance hair.
she inflicted not only the song, but I'm gonna say she inflicted this hairstyle. Hold on. Let's see if I can let's see. Open a new tab and then try to get this. I'm gonna try to share it on Crap is on Demand here. This Leanne Womack image. Is her name like Womack, or I'm just saying Womack? Womack, Leanne. Present.
Move it along, Ben. Move it along, Ben.
Well,
okay.
you know, here it
The
comes.
audience clicking off, Ben.
Here it
Audience
comes.
clicking
There
off.
she is.
Oh, shut up, Leanne. Well, take your eyebrows back to the 90s where they belong.
song,
Fucking
stupid
apostrophe
hair.
eyebrows. Get out of
Oh
here.
God, this article. Shut up, article. The history of Leanne Womack's signature song. I hope. Is there a history? Someone wrote it and ruined our society with it.
I'd like to think those commentators below the article are also being like, God, I hate her.
I know, and look how judgy she is too. She's like, actually, when you look at this video, you realize she's not saying like she's not wishing the best for you. She's actually demanding that you dance. She's literally the mom at the wedding who says, "We paid for this band. You better get up and dance. I hope you dance."
I hope you dance. Yeah. Yeah, she looks like somebody who wouldn't let me into cheer because I'm a boy, not because I'm obviously flaming. Get out of here, Leanne Womack, apostrophe brows. Okay, so let's get on with this episode. So Leanne, the noob, is working and stuff. And, you know, she sees Captain playing with his thermos, you know, which is an exciting moment for her. And then we go over to Ross and Ben talking on deck. And it looks like Captain can hear. So I thought this was going to be a big thing. But Ross is like, emotional roller coaster, Ben. Caps back, past tender flings appearing, me masturbating 3 times during that past sentence. God, I just came 3 times. It's amazing.
Captain's gone. Captain's gone. I just came. There's a lot of things happening right now. So, Ross, like, I hope we get discounts on end of season counseling. Like, that says the person who's like emotionally destroying it. Poor Katie. And by poor Katie, I mean
counseling after watching what you're doing to Katie. I need it. Okay.
Yeah.
So Rachel comes and hugs Lee, and she's like, "Oh my God, you look so great! I love you, motherfucker!" And he's like, "Hey, great to be back, sweetie. Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me now."
She's like, you know what? I really like Sandy. I got mad respect for her. I'm super, super, super thankful for her. But at the same time, I love Captain Lee, and I'm excited to do 8-course meals again. He really means a lot to me, and not just as a captain, but as a person. Titties,
titties. I help you, titties. So then they're doing provision. And Hades like, "Oh, what lovely smells do we have today? Like a vagina in a tanning bed with peanut butter in the flaps." Delicious. Delicious work, everybody.
And then Fraser is trying to open a door. He's like, "Why won't this open? Oh, God, someone put a metaphor on this boat. Someone please help. Please help me with this metaphor. It won't open. This door won't open. It's stubborn."
And Katie's like, "Are you going to be sleeping on the top bunk, man? That's where you sleep, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, and sometimes I feel bad for Tony, because sometimes I sleep nude." And then we get a shot of him we get evidence from the bedroom cabin cameras of him just walking around nude and flashing his dong around. Which, listen, I'm glad you think you're hot. Okay, and you have all the evidence pointing to the fact that you're super hot. You're not hot enough to be flashing your dong in the camera. You know, this poor crew doesn't need that from you. Okay, get some shorts on, sir. This is 2023.
I hope you wear shorts. He's like,
I hope you dress.
And then he's like, poor Tony. I mean, he woke up and he saw this dong in his face. And Tony's like, "It was traumatic." So then Captain Lee's like, "Mr. Olander, this is the captain speaking. Welcome back, Captain. Great, thanks. Thank you, sir. It's good to be back. Not that you asked how it was to be back, but I assume that's what you were thinking. But can I see you in my quarters, please?"
"All right, how you doing, buddy?" Say hug. And Fraser's like, "Oh, so good to see you. Goodness grief." And Captain says, "That's just small talk, basically." He's like, "You don't look any worse for the wear phrase." And Phrase is like, "Oh, well, I can't wear anything at this point." Speaking of the wear, I'm humongously fat. Pinch. Give it to Pinch.
"I've almost fattened out of Baby Gap. It's horrific." So then, they're talking about this new cast member, Leanne, not related to Leanne Womack, although maybe, who knows. She actually put this Leanne in that Leanne Womack hair, and they're kind of the same person. It all makes sense now.
No, I like this Leanne. I like this Leanne because she looks like one of the daughters from, like, Fiddler on the Roof. And I can just imagine her fucking half the orchestra. Like, I feel like I've known this girl before, you know? It's like a little rascal.
"If I were a rich man, I'd fuck everyone." I don't know what the voice that was. But either way, I'm going to ask someone in the audience to Photoshop this Leanne onto Leanne Womack's hair, and then we're going to see what it really looks like in the end. So that's a task for the audience.
So we cut to Rachel, and she's peeking around the corner to tell Leanne they want tropical cocktails and shit. And Leanne's like, "Oh, you're talking to me. She's talking to me." Leanne's so excited to be there and so excited to get any attention that doesn't involve someone's dick on her Tinder.
Yeah. And she's very squeaky because Rachel gives her some instructions of what she wants. And Leanne's like, "Pleasure. It's a pleasure." I was like, whoa. So then Haley's talking to Leanne in the cabin, and she's like, "Oh, such a shame you haven't been here the whole time. I could have taught you all the best ways to masturbate on Instagram for Ben." And Leanne's like, "How weird is this? I know Ben. I matched on Tinder with Ben." She was like, "Oh, fuck off. I was being theoretical about that."
"Welcome to Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, what kind of toothbrush do you use, Toots?" So they talk about Ben a little, and then I like that the editors are really starting to scare us that they're going to move Leanne into Fraser's job, because when Rachel's like, "All right, what they want is a bunch of tropical cocktails and shit, and I'm telling you that because you know how to bartend," and then they cut to Captain Lee, like, thinking deeply, like, oh, maybe I should move her into the top cocktail making spot. So then we go to Frasier.
Pina coladas, eh?
I like pina coladas. I like getting caught in the rain. Anyone else?
I like making love at midnight. And whatever rhymes with rain.
You know what? I really don't remember the rest of it. I think I just fell asleep because it was midnight. Who the hell's gonna be staying awake after dancing at midnight? Not me. That's for goddamn sure.
All I know is that I just cheated on my wife, but luckily it turned out I cheated on my wife with my wife, so we can just ignore that problem in our relationship, apparently, according to the song.
So now Frasier goes down to talk to Rachel, and he's like, Rachel, would it be possible to have lunch before 3? And she's like, yes, but the Caribbean cocktails thing is a pairing, so do you know what you're doing as far as pairing? I mean, not in general, because I know you don't. I mean, let's face it. But you know what you're doing with the drinks? And he's like, well, we'll come up with something. I've got the steel drummer coming at you. So he is excited because he got a steel drummer.
Yes.
He's like one of those people who can't make a drink, but is very thrilled to have ordered something on the phone. And he's like, we've got a lot going on today. I've got a steel drummer coming on board. I said, do you work with fat people? Thank God. Come on board. All right. We've got a cocktail pairing. I've never done a cocktail pairing. We are letting guests choose what they want to do. Why? I'll never know. But we've got to cater to their needs.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
In the aftermath of a shocking crime, people always ask why. Why would someone do something like that? What could possibly push them to commit such a horrible act? Was it money? Revenge? What makes people like that tick? I'm Candace DeLong, host of the podcast Killer Psyche, where I explain the thoughts, motivation, and behaviors of the most violent figures in history. You may think you know these cases, but trust me, you do not. Using my decades of experience as an FBI agent and criminal profiler, I dig deeper into the twisted psychology of why. Many of the cases covered on Killer Psyche I actually worked on, like the serial killer Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, and Dennis Rader, also known as BTK. Follow Killer Psyche wherever you get your podcast. You can listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
Life is short, and it's full of a lot of interesting questions. What does happiness really mean? How do I get the most out of my time here on Earth? And what really is the best cereal? These are the questions I seek to resolve on my weekly podcast, Life is Short with Justin Long. If you're looking for the answer to deep philosophical questions like what is the meaning of life, I can't really help you. But I do believe that we really enrich our experience here by learning from others. And that's why in each episode, I like to talk with actors, musicians, artists, scientists, and many more types of people about how they get the most out of life. We explore how they felt during the highs and sometimes more importantly, the lows of their careers. We discuss how they've been able to stay happy during some of the harder times. But if I'm being honest, it's mostly just fun chats between friends about the important stuff. Like if you had a sandwich named after you, what would be on it? Follow Life is Short wherever you get your podcasts. You can also listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
So now Rachel's making her lunch and everything, and Leanne's really gossipy. She wants to get to the bottom of everything, so she's asking Haley. She's like, "So who hooked up with who?" And Haley's like, "Oh well, Ben hooked up with this awful blonde lady, she's pretty much like a broom with big eyes, and he was kind of hooking up with her, but you're here now, so I'm sure he'll move on to you." And she's like, "Oh well, I've never been in a situation where another girl's been involved, and I don't know where we stand, but it's fucking yachting, and how serious can it possibly be, for reals?"
I know, it just shows you how ridiculous this show is, because Haley's like, I mean, you've only got 8 days. Really? All right. And she's like, I know, better live it up in those 8 days. Like, it's 8 days, and they're going to make this into the biggest relationship drama ever,
Yeah.
So then we go down to the mess, and Haley, Frasier, and Leanne are eating. So Haley's like, so how long were you on your last row? And it's 4 years. And she's like, wow, second or chief? And you just see Frasier like tensing up. She's like, well, I ended as chief, and that was good fun. And Frasier tells us, well, I'm a little concerned with how much my Oh, how much experience my steward's got, because she's the chief, and I'm the chief now. This is my boat, and if she can be open and do what's told of her, she'll have no issues. If she doesn't, she'll be chief, and I'll just die in a barn, like the cow that I am.
Just lead me to the abattoir and slaughter me and turn me into meat for American hamburgers at this point.
Just render me and fry some potatoes in me.
Look how hideous I am. Look at me, this monstrous block of cheese of a human. So, everyone get to the Sky Lounge immediately. And as a reminder, the Sky Lounge has nothing to do with the sky. It just is called the Sky Lounge.
It's just higher than the water. So, Haley, do you have anything disgusting to start us off? I'd love to be grossed out to open this first meeting back. She's like, I'm sweating my tits off. All right, thanks for that. All right, well, things are a little different than when I left. As you can see, I'm here. So thank you all for cooperating with Captain Know-It-All. Okay, thanks for whoever picked out that super inspirational font she's using over her own headshot right now on Instagram to talk about how much better she is. She is then, you know what? I fuck English. I'm going to pass this off to the other captain. Ben?
I haven't been on the boat for a while, so my pep talks are a little rusty at the moment. So I'll just pepper in a bunch of goddams, clean the windows, and some kiddos. Okay,
no,
great.
but seriously, Sandy really did, Captain Sandy, how dare he? She really did us a solid by coming in here and firing half my staff without telling me and awarding Fraser a master's degree she printed out online. So, thanks for that.
Yeah, and congrats, Fraser. She apparently also made you a reverend. So now you can do weddings. Congratulations.
Well, I wasn't pleased to leave, I'll tell you that much. I was madder than a Katie and Ariana fan at Tom Tom. But I'll be damned if I don't finish.
So now now here come the guests. Guests are showing up because everyone's lining up, and here come the guests, a bunch of bros. There's last minute cleaning, and we have the primary is Jake. I don't know if there was two Jakes, because there was some joke that there was two Jakes.
There's Jake and Jake. Yeah, there's a lot of Jakes.
There's Jake and Jake, but there's also an Angel, and there's also like an Albon or something like that. So Katie's like, you meet frat boys like this like all the time in Miami, and like they're going to be loud and obnoxious, and like they think they're going to be like amazing, and you can't go like down the street without seeing a bunch of them. So to me, I'm like, all right, I feel like we're back in South Florida. I guess I'm just like the hot one that they all love now, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be like, if it's back in Miami, they're going to be like so loud and obnoxious in the streets. I'm like, no respect, right? Thank God they respect really hot chicks.
Like me. So the little boat tour, the usual standard boat tour, people deciding where to sleep and everything.
Fraser hates them.
He's
like, oh, here's something that you would like. The roof opens up so you can see up into the hot tub. You douchebags. Enjoy that.
That way, if one of you is in the hot tub, another one of you can look at your fat asses. So then they leave port, and Captain Lee is like, well, being behind the wheel feels like where I should be. It's like riding a bike, but a very big bike that someone else was just riding and changed the handlebars on and the brakes.
Got some pink frills coming out of the handles of this goddamn steering wheel now, but you know what? I'm just going to roll with it because that's what you do.
It used to be a tricycle, but someone took off that third wheel, and so now it's just like a really strange bike kind of going in circles.
Great to be back on this bike with Post-it notes stuck all over the screen that say, Wendy, and you can do it. I believe in you. You won't always be a failure. Heart S.
Yeah, it's weird. So then the guys are asking for like a Wi-Fi password, the guests, and they say whatever the password is, and the guy
fat 37.
The guy's like, yeah, you know what my Wi-Fi password is? It's suck my dick.
I bet nobody
why so aggro for your Wi-Fi password? Like, why? What? Who are you angry? Why are you so angry at your router? It's actually helping you.
So thank you for staying 4 shekels. 4 shekels. So we're getting some weird vibes, right? Because one of the Jake, I guess is the primary, and so he's gonna get a big bed. Well, I'm not sure if he's a primary, but he has like a plenty big bed. But then this really pretty lady is like, "Oh yeah, I like this room too. I can just sleep on your couch."
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, so it was already weird because like
It's already weird.
Nobody rents a private yacht to sleep on a couch.
And at this time, I didn't really write it down because I didn't know anyone's relationship to anyone else. I was trying to figure everything out. Even though there was things that said, like, it's Crystal, Jake's sister-in-law. I was still like, huh, what? I'm confused. I was making a chicken at the same time, so I was a little distracted. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then, so now Rachel is showing Leanne the pairing menu for lunch and everything. And Rachel's like, these guests are crazy. They requested a seafood extravaganza and also paired on top of that with beverages. But like extremely hammered guests do not pair well with a pairing menu.
Yeah, she's like, what did she say? She said, they're like, woman, I want to get the fuck out there and breed. I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. I think Rachel says so many like things that I think normally are, I don't know, screamed on the street outside of Ross Dress for Less by someone you're trying to keep away from your car.
Yeah,
she's like, a tasting menu because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck all of you.
Yeah, and
she just like straightens
like,
up.
oh, okay. So then I think it's Angel. I could be wrong, but like he orders a drink, and one of the bros is like, because by the way, all my notes are like bro 1, bro 2, bro 3. So bro 1 is like, hey, have you ever ordered a single in your life? He's like, when I was a child. I was like, you're on a yacht. You don't have to get doubles. You're on a yacht. It's unlimited.
I don't. It's so weird. One time someone said, my dad, he was like, Ronnie, I love you, and I'd love how proud you are and like how confident you are. I just have a question. I hope you don't get offended. I was like, no, I won't get offended. What is it? He's like, why do you always have to tell people you're gay? I said, what do you mean? He's like, within the first minute of meeting someone, you make a reference to being gay. And I was like, because you have to kind of test out. I said, first of all, I didn't notice I did that, but I do it, and I think it's because you want to make sure they're not going to beat you up, or like if they have some kind of prejudice or something like that and are not going to like you, I want to get it out there first so I don't have like questions later on. You don't ever want the like, are you? I love gay people. No one wants that, Yeah. So my whole point in this story is we know you're douchebags. You don't fucking have to tell us all the time. I feel like I need to send my dad over there and be like, hey, why do you guys feel the need to tell everybody that you're a douchebag in the first minute you meet? We know, okay?
Yeah, and I'm not sure they even all know each other because then we see some bros sitting down and they're like talking and he's like, so what do you do? And the other bro's like, yeah, well, I worked in IT for about 12 years before jumping ship. No pun intended. I was like, wow. Hilarious. So,
and then Fraser is like, we're doing a pairing. You're doing all the drinks. I believe in you. And she's like, wow. I just love how he's just passing every ball to Leanne while he's afraid that she's going to take his job. He's like, you do all the big things.
Yeah. So now she has to come up with a pairing for gazpacho, and she's like a little stressed, and she's like, I'm a little stressed. I'm stressing my tits off. Like, this shit is fucking daunting. Like, I just jumped on, and like, I don't know what Rachel's type of cooking is, and like, then to add a cocktail match, it's not easy. I've been thrown in the deep end. And that's like her thing, is like saying I've been thrown in the deep end. She's like, that's like her favorite phrase of the episode.
Yeah. And Fraser is like, caramelized. What goes with caramelized? Probably cinnamon. They're just making shit up. Which is fine anyway, because these people don't fucking know. Anyone who says I want a tropical drink tasting menu probably doesn't know what they're talking about. That sounds insane to me. Does it sound normal to you? You know more about stuff.
No, it does not. It sounds stupid. But on top of that, it's also funny that these people are paying, theoretically, even though they get a discount because it's below deck. But if we're like to imagine this as being like a real yachting experience, you're paying thousands of dollars for a pairing. That's just like the waiters are doing. It's like when you go for a pairing, you want like a sommelier, or you want the chef to just like, the new stew came on 2 hours ago. She's gonna put something with your gazpacho. Enjoy.
Right. The temp just got dropped off and is now pouring grapefruit juice into every kind of liqueur she can find. So then we. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, my South African accent is just deranged today. I apologize to everyone from South Africa.
I'm not even trying. I can't find it. I don't even remember how she talks. Today. There's been so much Bravo on and so much going on this week that I'm like, what does this girl even look like? Now she looks like the girl who sings I Want to Dance, or I Hope You Dance, or whatever, Leanne Womack. So thanks, Ben. So then Tyler is standing on the bed and making it, and he's like doing it where he's standing on one side of the bed, but then his leg is all the way stretching to the other side, and he's like breathing. Just make the fucking bed, Tyler. I don't need to. You don't need to prove that you're the best bed maker ever, just as the douche and just to me being gay. We know.
Don't you know?
We know you're the best bed maker.
Ronnie, but don't you know he grew up in a strict religious household where being gay was not really accepted. So don't you know that's like why he's making the bed that way? That's like his thing. So
well, I'll tell you what is accepted around here: steel drumming.
Drums.
Because the steel drummer is coming.
The best part about the steel drummer, aside from the fact that he was delightful, is the fact that then at lunch, Rachel comes up Rachel is like, she comes up, presents her food, and then Fraser presents the cocktails, and every time they present, they do their little spiel, and then they like do this elaborate gesture with their hand to be like, and continue, Mr. Steel Drum. It's like this, like they're acting like it's Gustavo Dudamel over there in the corner, like, and continue. And he's like, dun 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 dun.
Hold on. What we have here is a gazpacho with tomatoes and cucumber in standard style of gazpacho. And continue, please.
Oh, and then we find out very quickly who the worst is. Okay, I read his name down later, not now, but it's very, very obvious now who is the worst out of all of these guys. He's this big jackass. He's like, I want a tequila inside a tequila inside a tequila.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. So then Rach does locally grown tomato gazpacho, which is great. I hate shipped tomatoes. I hate when people put tomatoes in the mail. Please make sure this is grown close. I do not want any post office gazpacho. Okay?
I must have a St. Lucian tomato in this, please. Thank you. I want this tomato to be grown at the top of the pitons.
And that is served with a gin and elderflower tonic, which I'm not sure about.
I don't know. Like, I mean, gin is sort of like floral. It's gardeny. Or I don't know. What would you serve with a gazpacho?
I think gazpacho probably doesn't matter as much, right? Like, lemony. What are you gonna serve? Like, I would serve like a garlic infused something, like a little Italia. Get a little Italia in there.
Also, I feel like gazpacho is like, I could be wrong because I actually know very little about Caribbean cuisine. But, I'm sure there's like a Caribbean gazpacho. But I just think the idea of like, we're gonna serve Caribbean cuisine, and here's a gazpacho with like a gin drink.
Here's a blatantly non-Caribbean dish. I would just serve it with a martini glass filled with cooked pasta, and then call it a day.
Just don't even try. Just sell it. Just give like a, I don't know. Just make just different, like a mudslide or something. I don't know.
A mudslide. Just do everything from Fuddruckers.
A grasshopper.
Because that shit goes with everything.
God,
so
yeah.
Haley's like, oh my God, it's literally cocktail after cocktail after cocktail. Things will be broken later. I just hoping it's not my asshole.
And then Ben is talking about how things can be so awkward with Leanne, and he's like, obviously I've got this connection with Camille, and I'm going to see her in a week's time, and Leanne, we had an amazing connection online, and I know I'm gonna have to talk to both of them about each other. Like, Leanne, I was dating this really vapid, generally stupid and uninteresting person, but she's hot. So, no more vaginal pics from you, at least not on the TV show. Thank you very much. Probably something like that.
And he is loving this bump up to leading man status, because with Camille, he was already like doing the hair flicks and the serious eyes and like the Speedo competition or whatever the hell that was on drag where they had to strip, and he's just like modeling it up. So he was already enjoying it, but now he's like, God, this is so difficult. Everybody being in love with me. Oh, God. Why, God? Why?
Yeah, I still have not fully bought.
I haven't
Ben
caught the
as leading
fever.
man. I haven't
caught
I don't
the
have
fever.
Ben fever. I don't have Ben fever.
I don't have the beaver.
No.
That's Ben fever.
So people are liking the food, and then Katie, somewhere else around the boat, Katie's like, I have to shave my legs tonight. So hairy. Not one from Miami.
So now we get prawn and chili oil and coconut with a rum fruit punch. Again,
Sure.
Don't get it. So Ross is like, all right, well, we should blow this banana up more. It's great for sitting on, Katie. She's like, yeah, I'm going to shave my legs. Still talking about shaving my legs. It's like, I don't think you understood what I meant by sit on the banana. Am I just wasting material? God, I just came. Just came.
So then Captain Lee's just sitting in his chair up in his office, the wheelhouse, whatever. He's like, there we go. Come to Papa. Almost 30 knots. There we go. There we go. Feels good to be back.
So
water toys. Time for water toys.
Water toys. And douchebag is like, I want that banana in the water.
So it gets in the water. And then Leanne is telling Lee that she hasn't stopped. I guess she hasn't
working,
stopped
basically.
working.
She's like, as long as they're having fun, because he says, how you doing, kiddo? And she's like, I just haven't stopped as long as they're having fun. And Haley's like, oh, they're enjoying themselves. And he's like, oh, yeah, these guys are fun, huh? Great job, Leanne. Thanks so much for everything. So then they're doing canapes. Fraser's like, Jake, we're doing canapes first at 7, then we're on to dinner. And the captain will be joining you tonight. Is that correct? Is that correct? I'll tell Leanne she'll have everything prepared for you.
Also, I have these specialty sunglasses. That way you can talk with me without actually having to look at my fat, hideous body.
So Tony sees Rachel in the hallway, and he's like, oh, you're stressed. Let me do some massage for you. So he's massaging her, and she's like, all right, well, I'll massage you too. Pussy. Okay, this is getting awkward. Who's singing the pussy song? Who's singing that? That's you. Oh, God. Here I go. All right, that was the most awkward moment I've ever had with charter guests before. Fuck my face!
And then down in the crew mess, Leanne's still trying to get the juice. She's like, so, what's all the juicy gossip? What's the gossip? And she's like, who's hooked up with who? Who's hooking up with who? And Ben's like, well, there's 2 stews that have been let go so far. And she's like, oh, and you hooked up with one? Is that true? You hooked up with one? And Katie goes, oh, being naughty. Oh, naughty Bean. Oh, you said she left
you're naughty.
Bean.
Yeah. And he's like, she's cool. She's cool. Flicking his hair. And so she leaves. She goes back to the galley. And then Tony's telling us, I know there's more drama coming because Camille is over there. And then all this sexual chemistry, before you know it, is going to go, boom! I just hope not in the cabin on my face because he's always naked.
Yeah, no, that's probably is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So now the guests are getting ready for dinner, and one of the bros asked one of the girls. She's like, "So how much time do you need?" She's 5 minutes. That means 30 minutes. By the way, there's one girl on this group. I think her name is Olivia, who could not be more miserable. I don't know what's going. I mean, I do know why she's miserable. I don't know why she's with them, but she is upset the whole time.
It's
the
hilarious.
camera keeps zooming in on her. I keep expecting her to barf or cry or storm off, and she just sits there frowning.
I don't know why it's funny to me, but I think she's just trying to keep up with these guys because they're like, bro, drinks. And they keep ordering drinks, and she's trying to keep up with them. And this poor thing is about to I don't know how she's still standing,
No.
And, you get that teary thing when you're drunk, and she's just moving in her seat,
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So then the salad is served, and the guy's like, hey, Captain, I told him you gotta have bananas. We need to have the bananas. And he's like, yeah, well, it's not great for catching fish, I'll tell you that much.
He said, because he says, he's like, wow, it's a Long Island tradition that you can't have bananas on a fishing boat. It's bad luck. You won't catch any fish. I mean, I think he said Long Island tradition. Maybe he meant a long-held tradition, now that I say that. But I like the idea that it's a Long Island tradition. Like Billy Joel might write a song about it. Like the sequel to Downeastern Alexa is Down Banana Alexa.
That banana got so drunk it crashed into a tree and then denied it.
That banana was married to a lady who hosted Top Chef for a season. Isn't that crazy? That's bad luck.
So deliver is delivered. Food is delivered, and the guys are trying to make wacky, jokes with the captain, and they're trying to make like gay things. He's like, am I sitting too close to you now, guy? And he's like, not yet, Cap. Not yet. I'll let you know.
Yeah. And
This guy.
and Rachel's making a salt encrusted.
This is why you tell people you're gay in the first 5 minutes, by the way. Shit like this. This guy.
This guy.
Got
Listen,
my berries.
You know all these guys have hooked up before. Let's be honest. So
It doesn't count when you're drunk, Ben.
That's true. So now at one point, Angel, the really drunk guy, he just like gives his dish to Haley. He's like looking down at the table, but he just gives it to. He goes, "Here, you can take this." He doesn't even say you can take this. He goes, "Here, just take this away from me." And he gives it to her, and she's like, "This fucking guy, just take this away from me. Just shoved it into my hand face. Can you believe it? It's like just handing me a toothbrush and saying, do something with this without being sexy about it."
And then we go back to the captain. He's like, you gotta not take it personally, huh, guys? Because people come up to me all the time and say, hey, can I see your banana? And I say, I don't think so, buddy.
So now Rachel brings up this big old fish, this big old salt-encrusted branzino, and they're doing this whole elaborate presentation, pulling the crust off of it and everything, and they just keep cutting to that one girl who's like miserable
Olivia.
and wasted, and she's like, the last thing she needs right now is branzino in front of her face. She's like,
yeah. Oh, God. And they're just so boring. The captain's trying to stay into it, but it's just lame. This guy's like, I moved from Florida to Chicago, and, I moved to trade. And not trade, but I got 3 kids. So what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? So then we find out that the primary Jake is sharing a cabin with his sister-in-law, but now everybody thinks they're fucking, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, this is so weird. Who does this?
yeah, like they're clearly having sex, right? So Fraser's like, ultimately, we have no idea who these people are, what the situation is that they're getting into after dark. But sometimes something doesn't really add up, in the sense that what is this relatively attractive woman doing with this relatively unattractive man who's not even her husband? I don't know. Things aren't adding up.
Yeah, and the captain's still telling stories. He's like, well, when anyone asks me how me and my wife met, she says through friends, but she always says he doesn't even remember the first time he met me. Isn't that wives, am I right? Am I too close to you now, buddy? I'll tell you, Captain. I'll let you know. This is how straight guys act when they're alone.
Yep.
This is the kind of conversations they have.
This is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, meanwhile, Haley is cleaning downstairs, and she finds Olivia's chicken cutlets, and Olivia's sort of like touching her boobs, like, "Hey, where'd my chicken cutlets go?" And then Haley's just like dangling them.
She's like putting them on her own boobs.
Yeah,
and yeah, that was funny. Olivia's like, "Where are my boobs? Where are my boobs?" So panna cotta is served. And Ross asks Katie, what do you think of the new crew dynamics? And she's like, well, like, it's definitely, like, awkward. Like, it doesn't seem like Ben really knows what to do. And, like, I agree with, like, flirting at work. It's like, I mean, I don't know. And then she tells us, it's so evident that we have this connection. And it's getting stronger and stronger as the days go on. And cut to Ross going, I just want to have physical fun.
I know. I love how she was talking about how they have such a deep connection when all he did was say, so what do you think about the new crew, the new stew, basically? And she's like, yeah, we are so connected. And he's like, it's just like more, I just feel like this is like more serious than just like playing around at work. And he's like, honestly, I just haven't had enough sex recently. It's starting to hurt. That's all.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, it's serious though. And he's like, no, it's never enough. It's really not regular enough. And so then he's massaging her and he's like, you want to fuck? Do you want to just go somewhere and fuck right now? It's like, oh my God, we are so getting married soon.
This is such a deep, rich relationship. So now there's just like more drunkenness at the table. Like Angel and Captain Lee are taking a photo together. Angel's like kissing Captain Lee's forehead. And then like the evening then we have Ben and Leanne cleaning up, and they're sort of like flirting and talking about social media. I didn't really catch what they said. I went back a few times and I was like, I give up.
Yeah, it's like he's flirting. He's like, you messaged me on Instagram and said I couldn't help myself. I had to send a message. She's like, you lied, didn't? He's like, yes, and I couldn't resist adding you on here. She goes, oh, really? If I didn't, let's see if you replied to it. And he said, I did reply. I said, hey, looks like you're a yachty also.
Ooh, Bean. So now the guests are in the hot tub and they're just getting wasted. They're getting drink after drink after drink. And then they also want food. Like, can we get some food? And Ben's like, well, the chef's going to bed. You only have deckhands right now who are kind of flirting with each other because she added me first on social media, if you know what I'm saying. So you want a sandwich?
Listen, I can serve you something if you're hungry for undeniable sexual appeal.
Listen, I can serve you a Julia Roberts hair sandwich because that's what I have on hand.
If you'd like to see what Julia Roberts' smile tastes like, come to me. Thank you for bringing my Julia in here. God, I just love her.
He does kind of have Julia Roberts. I've been trying to figure out like what celebrity's hair he has, and I feel like it's Julia Roberts in a certain movie, but it's not. And
it's not, right? I always think of Julia Roberts with big curly hair.
Yeah, but like sometimes like in Ocean's 11, her hair sort of does like Ben has that thing where it has
like
it
she
comes
has
out
she
and then it
hair
comes out.
axis. You know how she like doesn't she doesn't really ever change her acting. She's always kind of the same. She like changes her hair. She's like, in this film, I'm still Julia Roberts. I'm still gonna do this, but I'm gonna have straight hair this time.
Yeah, it's almost like he almost has. I can't even place it. I keep on going back to judging Amy, but her hair's curly, so it's not her.
Yeah, you're thinking of a lot of curly-haired ladies.
I have like
By
a
the
curl,
way, love you, Judging
block.
Amy. Great show. Love you and Tyne Daly, your mother on that show. Both did great work. Oh, no.
Everyone. The entire cast.
Judging Amy. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So a lot of important things going on here. They're drinking things. They're making beds. Super, super big episode. So
he has the hair of Georgie on Sisters. That's what he has the hair of.
Yeah, well, I came out of the
Patricia
closet about not
Callenber.
really ever watching that one, so.
Patricia Callenber hair. And I'm not doing that just to make a Sisters reference, even though I enjoy making Sisters references, but he does sort of have Patricia Callenber hair. And I think everyone, if you look it up, you will see.
You know when you put your child on the plane and then they're alone and the captain's like, I'll take care of them, and then the plane lands and your kid comes off and you're like, I'm glad you made it here. That's how I feel when you finally figure out whose hair you're trying to describe.
Wait, does he have...
You made it here.
Oh, wait, I have a better one. He almost has Hoda Kotb hair.
Wait a minute. Can I ask you something? I'm sorry, audience. This has nothing to do with the show again. But I read some comment. I think it was on Kate Casey's Facebook group. A post that someone was like, something's going on at the Today Show because Hoda hasn't been there and no one's saying anything. And then somebody at Joanna Guthrie, I think that's who they said, Joanna Guthrie had to leave early today and didn't even say why. What's up today? What is up? Is something going on at the Today Show? I need to know.
Savannah Guthrie?
I don't
maybe, well, daylight savings time is coming up. And so maybe the Today Show is reassessing what time it is. So maybe it's not today. I don't know. Also, no, by the way, I literally just found out who Ben has the hair of.
Oh, I found it. Okay, you give your answer, then I'll give my answer, and everybody's going to be, their minds are going to be blown once
I have my
you
final answer. I have
You
my
do
final
it.
answer of who Ben has the hair of. Our vice president. Kamala Harris.
Oh, not a bad call. That's actually a very good call. So here's the reason all that stuff happened on CNN. Hoda's daughter had an illness. She had a health scare. And so she was gone. She was hospitalized. She was gone. And Al Roker says that Hoda will be fine. And you know who I trust besides you?
Weatherman.
Al Roker. Trust Al Roker.
He did cheat on his wife, I believe, but do trust him.
Well, I'm not married to him.
I'm just happy that I feel like my final answer about Ben's hair. I feel like that is my final answer.
I
feel
think
like
it's a good.
Patricia
I think it's good
Callender
hair.
to Hoda Kotb, and that got us to our VP. So
It's a
there
good
we
hair
go.
answer.
It's a good hair answer. Yeah. Thank you.
So God, I feel like the show's over. Like the mystery is solved.
It's
Well,
solved.
2 mysteries are solved in one episode. So then they're going to bed, and Ben texts Leanne, "Nice to meet you, hair flick." And then she's like, "Me too. Good night, heart." But it's not like the emoji heart. It's the actual
Like bracket
greater
with a
than.
3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, greater
Yeah.
than with a 3.
Here's what I found.
Oh,
Hullabaloo.
Oh, is that
the watch
Leanne
just said,
texting?
"Here's what I found."
here's what she's like. Here's what I found about his hair. It's like, shut up. We already got to the bottom of it.
So now it's morning, and Fraser is like, "Leanne, look how tired she was when she wrote this. She really is great, though," because it's the whiteboard, and it's just like, "Okay, did the toilets, did the drinks, got everybody to bed, went and wiped every single guest's ass, made out with Ben, wrote a love story, cleaned the deck," and then it just like starts going sideways. It's like red rum, red rum, red rum, red rum, red rum, red rum.
She did everything, but they're just like laughing because she misspelled Moscow Mule. She spelled it as Moscow Mule. They're like, look how stupid she is. She's a stupid person. Sure, she did 50 million different tasks, but she can't spell Moscow.
Yeah, and he tells us his backstory. He's like, "I was terrible at school, so I felt like a failure and so insecure. But I have to remind myself, I'm the baddest bitch on board."
Also, I'm the fattest bitch on board. Oh, I'm embarrassed of myself. I'm hideous.
So I don't know why why does the captain say his next line? Do you know why?
Well, before he does that, Ross sneezes, and Tony goes, "Gesundheit!" Ross is like, "Thank you, Tony. Thank you for that." So then Captain Lee is looking at the charts, and it's like, he's like, "Huh," and he goes, "Things that make you go, I was like, wow, I was not expecting Captain Lee to make a CNC Music Factory reference. I mean, we just did that last week.
Yeah, Captain Lee's break did him good.
He's like, I heard some great music from the era of 1990 to 1992, and I have to say, not only things that make you go, but, they
Things
call
that
him
make you go, "God damn it!"
I've got the power. Okay, I got the power, and they call him Mr. Vane. Okay, but just because I got the power doesn't mean you gotta call him Mr. Vane. And everybody.
Oh, is that all them? I love that song.
No, those are just-
Everybody.
Listen, hey,
That's
strike
not
it up,
them, right?
strike it up. These are all just different popular dance songs of
Oh.
that era. Okay,
Oh, all right.
by
All right,
bands
well.
such as Black Box, and that's CNC Music Factory, and others that can be found on Wikipedia. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Ronnie couldn't join you on that one. Unfortunately, he was raised on show tunes and jazz singers. So,
I know what I want, and I want you. I'm Mr. Vane.
So the Ross and the captain are talking. Ross comes up, and he's like, "They were up late last night." And he goes, "Yeah, they were stronger than I thought they were, that's for sure. Well, we were keen to do a beach setup, but the weather's getting nasty." And he goes, "Damn it. It would be nice for the weather to cooperate for goddamn once. I've got a plane ticket in my pocket for you, Mother Nature, you rancid bee."
Just for once, I just want to say to Mother Nature, be my lover. Won't you be my lover? La da 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 da. Jeez.
Anybody have a question about the weather? I've got one. Hey, weather, what is love?
You know what? If people have such a problem with this yacht, they can just take a bus instead. Specifically, the Venga bus. The Venga bus is coming, and everybody's jumping from New York to San Francisco and every place that we go.
So the goddamn wind is blowing, and he goes, "They don't call them the Wind Islands for nothing," or something. So Haley's back hurts, and Jake is up and shirtless. And, he's much more tolerable shirtless, I have to say. He's pretty cute, Jake. I love a nondescript person. I love someone that could rob a bank, and I wouldn't be able to pick them up in a lineup. you know.
He is cute, except he looks like he has like a discarded Game of Thrones sigil on his back with that tattoo. It's like some terrible. Yeah, it's like a flower. Is he like of the Martells or the not the Martells? You know, the
former ITs. Former ITs are gonna take over this goddamn kingdom, right?
What was the name of that lady who did the poisoning? You know her name, the old established Diana Rigg's family. That's what he looked like. That's what he's trying.
Tell Cersei it was me. It was me who did it.
Tell the other traitors it was me who did it.
So Haley's back hurts. Jake is up and shirtless. He saw it. He slept well. I don't care. I don't know why I'm writing this down.
Because nothing happened. By the way, in case you couldn't tell, nothing happened this episode. Literally nothing happened. But we'll
make it 5 hours anyway.
In the nothingness, that's where we find everything. So Ross is telling Fraser that because of conditions, they have to cut down on this beach picnic that they're gonna be doing because it's gonna be so windy and things are gonna blow away. So Fraser's like, okay, well, we can do games on the beach and stuff. Because I was bracing. We were very upset last week because we saw the preview that we saw that they wanted to do games. And we're like, we already had the game shit. We already had the game bullshit. So I was already at this point. Not only was I mad that nothing was happening, but that we were gonna have to sit through another like Olympics with the staff. So I was already in a bad mood.
Yeah, you know, and we went off on it yesterday, literally all day, about Bravo just reusing the same shit over and over again, and you're making your own show stale. If you don't have enough content to make new Below Decks fresh and interesting, then stop making new Below Decks. We don't need 37 episodes a day, and they certainly don't all need to involve the crew playing Olympic games with the fucking decades, you know? Come on, guys. So Fraser is of course making Leanne go to the beach. And he's like, I've been gifted the wonder of someone with chief stew experience, and for once I've stepped back and I've trusted. And boy, have I learned the hard way. This is my responsibility to lead and delegate. I didn't see that at first, so an amazing lesson to learn. Am I eating this ice cream, or is this ice cream eating me?
I just looked at some ice cream and I now have gained 45 pounds. I'm disgusting.
So, hello, Fraser, Mr. Olander. Would you please come to my window? I'm out of dance music now. Here I am, Lil Fair. Get ready. Okay, listen. I've been fumbling through
love ballads from the 90s now, all right?
'Cause I will be the one to hold your hand, kiss you so hard, I'll take your breath away. But also you need to attend to some things in my cabin. And when I went to my cabin, there was nothing there, so I basically got dry cleaned this morning, if you know what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying, but just think of what it is, and then whatever it was that you thought of, that's what happened.
Nights in white dirties. So Fraser's like, I will definitely not let that happen again. Never, ever. How could that happen? That's happened a lot on your watch, actually, where things aren't right in the captain's cabin. It happened with Sandy at the beginning, and it happened with Lee, didn't it? Wasn't this the year that Lee's shirt came back?
Yeah,
teeny
small.
tiny.
Tiny. Yeah, form fitting.
Yeah.
Slim cut.
So then Angel is like, I'm covered in bruises. And they're like, why? And then the dickweed's like, that iced coffee is unacceptable. So he's woken up really grumpy because they're all super hungover. And Lee, Katie, Ben, and Ross are bringing supplies to the... No, not Lee. Leanne are bringing supplies to the beach.
Yeah. And Leanne's saying, I think that Fraser's trying to challenge me. I'm always being thrown into the deep end, and like my whole life has been a challenge. I was put on this earth when I like to deal with challenges. It feels like when I was 15, my parents got a divorce, and then I dropped out of school, and then I was a beach bum, and then I was like living on the streets, and then I found yachting. So not enough time to give a true backstory. So I just decided. They said, hey, the producer said, hey, these are your backstories you can have. You got a kid in Fort Lauderdale. You were either saved by yachting, or your mom wasn't there when you were a child and you used to drive your siblings to school when you were 6 years old. So I chose living on the streets. Here I am.
I really loved when she goes, my whole fucking life it's been a challenge. I feel like I was put on this earth to learn the hard way. And then it cuts to a picture of a little girl holding a cat. It's like, yeah. It's like the hardest life I've literally ever seen on television.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened to the cat? Did the cat die? Did the cat choke on a can of beans on the street? Like, what happened to the cat? I need to know. That was a very important part of this story.
It's the hard way. She learned the hard way.
Okay, so also, they're on the beach. Now, Fraser has sent them to the beach. They're supposed to have a bar and snacks, I think, while the Olympic things are going on. There's no shade on the beach. So she goes, do we have canopies? And Katie's like, no, they said not to bring them. And she goes, no, but there's sun. I mean, look, there's sun right there. Like, I don't know, kid. So someone's going to have to stand there with no shade.
Yeah. And then, meanwhile, Fraser's on board because the guests aren't there yet, and he's just trying to get to the bottom of the situation with Crystal, the sister-in-law. So he's like, "So the sleeping arrangements? Who's sleeping with who? Who's sleeping in what room?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, well, Angel's with so and so, and that there Olivia's with that Jake, and so Jake is with that girl, and then I'm just with my brother-in-law." He's like, "Oh, okay, and." So brother, it's like, oh yeah, he's like a brother. Oh, and how are you related again? Just speak slowly and into my lapel. I don't have a microphone here. This flower is not recording anything that I'm going to be playing back to the rest of the crew right now. Thanks.
She's like, well, Jake is married to my best friend, who's basically my sister. Okay, so she's not your sister-in-law. And so he's like, and where is she? Have you murdered her? It's okay if you have. I really won't tell anybody. I'm fat anyway, so no one hears when I speak.
It's like, she's in Chicago with the babies. Oh, so he's married to a lady from the Midwest with babies, but he's out here with you, a ravishing female named Crystal in his bed. Got it.
So she couldn't come because of the babies. And she's like, right. And goes, that's so interesting. He has no game face at all, He's just face. This is all she hears. Slut, 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 slut. Oh, slut, 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 slut. Oh, slut, slut. Okay. Would you like some more slut? I'll be back.
There's like a telegram downstairs that Haley is sitting by. It's like wartime. She's like, oh, I'm getting a message from Fraser. He says she's a slut. Slut, slut, slut. Slut, slut. Stop. Slut. Stop. Slut, slut. Stop. Chicago. Stop. I'm fat. Stop.
I just came. Ross comes in like I've just flooged.
It's official. She's a slut. Sleeping with.
So then the asshole guy is like, I'm sober. This is unacceptable. And Fraser's like, yes, I don't like you when you're sober. It's a new you, and I don't like this you.
Yeah. So now, what's her face? Leanne wants the gazebo. And so Ross, like they radio in for the gazebo, and Ross then goes to Fraser and is like, can we have a gazebo? Because they want a gazebo. And Fraser's like, but it's games in a bar. And Ross is like, I've noticed that with Leanne joining the group, with her having been a chief stew previously, that there may be the slightest power struggle in the department. The old classic, she wants a gazebo, he's like a little meh on a gazebo. It's getting out of control.
How do you not understand how a bar would need a shade? It would need some kind of shade on a beach, sir. It's ice. It's cold drinks. And no one wants to drink. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with Fraser? I think Fraser was given a raise too quickly. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. Fraser needs to be demoted at this point. So he's like, fine, give them one. Just fine, give them one. So he gets all pissed off. And he's like, oh, is the Chief Stew trying to get a Chief Stew boots on? Because that's one thing that's needed that wasn't packed. There's not one thing they need that wasn't packed on there. And people shouldn't be getting creative. That's my job.
And furthermore, I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. So they bring the canopy. 15 minutes later, no, 35 minutes later, the canopy is going out there. And they go out there, and by the way, on the boat, Angel goes, "Hey, can I get a Bloody Mary and a Bloody Mary?" And Fraser goes, "What does that mean?" He goes, 2 Bloody Marys. Sorry, I thought my slang was catching on. I guess it didn't catch on. Sorry.
So they do a gazebo setup. Big deal. Huge deal. Huge. And Ben is like, Kate, he says to Leanne, he's like, oh, flick hair. Katie found the message that you messaged first last night. What do you think about that? Remember when you messaged me first? And she goes, no, he messaged me first.
It's like, of course, he's making it sound like he messaged you first. I was like,
I think it's really weird that they're flirting because, like, he's not being truthful. He's obsessed with Kimil. He needs to be clear with her because this girl is creating more and more feelings towards him and it's getting crushed. You definitely can't have your cake and eat it. Are you kidding? You've literally sat there as an ice cream cake and watched Ross swallow a store-bought cake at the same time.
You have put a cone on your head and said, I'm Cookie Puss, like literally. So the epitome of the cake and the hat of it too. So ice cream cake, for those who know. If you know, you know. So Angel is talking to Fraser and he wants a double shot of he's just like sitting there. And Fraser's sort of like nearby and he goes, double shot of tequila, thank you. And Fraser walks away and goes, eye contact would be nice, you rude son of a bitch. Oh, yes, you want some more? Yes, absolutely, no problem. Rude son of a bitch, stupid bitch. And you're actually fatter than I am, which is unbelievable. I didn't know that was physically possible.
Oh, you sick little fuck. Go home. In fact, you will be tomorrow. So then,
if you want a napkin with that, absolutely. We'd be happy to give you the napkin, stupid fucking man.
So Rachel is calling Fraser. She's like, Fraser, Rachel. Everything is on standby, ready to go. Quesadillas are standing, ready to be heated. And then it starts getting windy on the beach, and they pack back on the tender, and Haley's talking to Tyler while they clean. So Haley's like, oh, so I got some news. Josh is going to work the moment I get back. And Tyler's like, oh, your boyfriend, what does he do? She's like, he's a drill operator offshore. He's also a drill operator on me.
In my vagina.
Yeah.
The ocean that is my vagina.
I was saying,
and
if you're going to be
my labia.
You're going to be operating that drill. Who's going to be operating the drill inside of me, you motherfucker? I'm coming home with a stinky ass that I've just picked with my finger.
Sometimes I have him call my pussy Mariana's Trench.
So this leads into some backstory for Tyler somehow.
I want to say, it's like you could see Haley be like, anyway, here's how I emotionally feel about the fact that I'm going to be arriving when my boyfriend is leaving. I feel thusly. And it's like, here's Tyler's story instead.
Because Haley doesn't have an emotional arc. I don't think in her life or on the show. She's just like, I'd rather be doing Botox right now. That's it. I don't want to sticking my finger up the ass and masturbating. I could be doing that with a syringe in my hand, making $100 a minute.
I feel like Haley plays Animal Crossing and tries to get the little animals to do perverted things. I just get to, guess what? I got that stupid little pig to come to my island. I tried to fillet him, but he just walked inside. And
that horse just gave the giraffe a Dirty Sanchez.
I actually printed the words Dirty Sanchez and put it on my flag of my town hall, and Nintendo made me take it down. Stupid pricks.
So this Haley talking about her boyfriend, who's a drill operator, leads into Tyler's backstory, which is, my dad is an RV pilot. My dad was never around. He's very emotionless, and he only cried when his dad died. Very traditional, as this is what a man does. That's what he would tell me. This is what a man does. And every time I go home, he says, do you have a girlfriend? And I say, no, Dad. And then that's where it ends.
All right. I feel for Tyler. I understand it. It's a real situation. I want this to be resolved in the best possible way for him. Don't need I don't need the lateral updates. It's the same. It's like, I get it. Just come out at this point.
It's just, for me, it's just the improv. It's he's a drill operator offshore, and then to Tyler going, yes. My dad is an RV pilot, and he was never around.
I know.
Like, what is this scene?
Yes,
Make the fucking bed. Make the bed without your feet on it. How about that? Let's start there. Okay?
He does in the closet, and that's his improv. But like,
he turns every conversation into his dad's storyline.
Because my dad feels that way. But listen, all I'm saying is this better be leading up to some phone call and coming out or some scene. Because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be so mad. Because it's like, it's kind of this. It's the same thing every week. My parents don't know yet. They don't know that I'm gay. I'm like, okay, well, that's a very real situation. But like, come on now.
Yeah. So then we go to Captain and Rachel, and he's like, it was smart to do it like this as opposed to lunch out there, because, God, it's a real shit sandwich out there. And she's like, I don't like serving shit sandwiches. Shit on your fucking face, motherfucker. He's like, what, did you say something there? No. So Frasier comes in.
And then he's like, but remember, the more bread you have, the less shit you have to eat. She's like, wait, did this cross over from a metaphor into actual menu planning?
I've been through some tough time, kids. So, guests at the beach, games, cornhole, etc. And the asshole guy is like, I hate sand and I hate salt water. So what are you doing on a fucking yacht?
And then he like wins the game and he's like, what's it like to not be me? But by the way, this is what I was teeing up before. I was really apprehensive because like, oh God, another stupid forever segment about guests versus the crew. But actually these were just games and I was okay with that. I was like, oh, they're just playing cornhole. They're just playing stupid games. It wasn't a whole thing. It actually was like a really great beach setup. It looked like the best beach picnic they've done all season long. So I was like, okay. Pleasantly delighted that I did not have to sit through an Olympic segment.
Yeah. So then back to the captain and Rachel.
Really cared about my emotional state about watching these games.
You're like, this is what happened when I finally came out to my emotionless parents.
I want to be transparent on this podcast that I was expecting one thing and I was upset, but then when it happened, I was actually perfectly fine. So thanks for the check-in.
I like that they just nixed it. They were like, no, we're not doing that. We just did that last week.
Yeah,
let's just watch them run around. Yeah. So then back to Captain and Rachel. He's like, wow, this is great. I'm not detecting one scintilla of negativity from one crew member to another. This is amazing. And Rachel's like, because there is none. We just all know how hard each other works. And all that shit talking I did with Sandy, I guess it's just going to have to wait for a minute. But it'll be back. It'll be back, motherfucker.
I'm really impressed with the cohesiveness of the soul. I mean, credit goes to Sandy. She obviously did something right. I mean, she kind of answered the age-old question, which was, who will save your soul? It's Captain Sandy, apparently.
Yeah, Captain Sandy. She's a bitch. She's a lover. She's a mother. She's a whore. She's a sinner. She's a saint.
I will not rhyme that lyric.
It's never like this at this point in the season. Everyone's dicks are down. They're dragging, usually, but yeah, it's great. So then we go to
Makes
Katie
me want to say, like, hey, yay, 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 hey, yay, yay, what's going on? I woke up in the morning, put my feet on the floor, got out of bed and saw that the crew was getting along, and I said, hey, what's going on?
The fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on? Someone get Linda Perry in here.
God damn it. God.
It's a shame that Sandy can't be here every day. It kind of makes you want to know, what if Sandy were one of us? Just a captain along with us.
So
I got more.
So
go on.
Katie and Leanne are hanging out. And then Katie's like, it's so crazy that, like, you're both onto this. But Katie, no one cares about your stupid non-relationship with Ross. Stop trying to make this girl ask you about your relationship. She doesn't care. Nobody cares. You're fucking pathetic. Stop trying to talk about it every 5 seconds by opening the door to stupid relationships talk. Okay? Stop it.
Yeah.
Sick of hearing about it. So she's like, yeah, it's like really crazy. You're both on this boat. Are you into it? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know what he's feeling. I mean, they're showing off his board. That's for sure. And Katie's like, hey, you showing off your bod, Ross? Yeah. Yeah, you said he's showing off his bod. You're showing off your bod. Yeah, you're totally right about that one.
You know what, Bean? He was totally doing it for me. I mean, he's like a smooth operator. Such a smooth operator. Oh, gosh, loves. Hey, I see what you're doing there. I'm on 90s Lilith Fair music. Don't bring Sade into this, okay? You're new here. You have to wait.
So then Rachel is asking Fraser how the beach is going, and he's like, I've got this feeling that everyone's hating it because I'm not there to make it amazing, so we'll see. And then it cuts to everybody having the best time of their lives.
The best beach, the best everything. It's just like wonderful, like the Leanne touch, you know?
They're doing potato sack races, and you know that Fraser is going to be furious when he finds out that they're jumping around in a carb bag.
I know.
What are they mocking me now? They're mocking me.
I mean, let's be honest. They're probably having the worst time ever at the worst picnic ever, and they'll come back to me, and they'll be so happy because they're just having a shitty, terrible time. And then, like, cut to the picnic, and, like, the president of St. Lucia pulls over, like, his motorcade is like, you all look like you're having such a wonderful time. I had to come up and say congratulations and welcome to our island. Anyway, go on. Do you mind if we use you for our tourism brochures?
I know, it cuts back, and Fraser's like, they're probably sobbing and begging for a helicopter to come pick them up. Cut back. And I've brought Willie Nelson with me on the boat. Willie, come on up. Come on up, Will.
Is that Meryl Streep coming up in a rowboat? She's like, well, I saw you guys were having such a wonderful time. I had to join in. I had to.
And so Ross and Fraser, he's like, so what's going on at lunch? And Fraser's like, I don't know, but I don't like that because they don't either. But when they're ready, I'm ready. And Ross is like, because he goes, I'm ready. And Ross is like, so there's twinkle fingers again. So let's see. So the captain is alone, and he's like, God, it would be nice to just have one fucking tender.
One decent, tender God where we could... I'm not even going to sing a song about that one because I'm so mad about that.
So then now Ben is texting Camille. He's like standing next to Leanne, and he's texting. And he's like, hey, babe, how are you? And she's like, miss you. I'm just working right now, which just goes to show like how unfair this world is that stupid Camille can get fired and she finds a job right away when some people are like unemployed for months and months and months. This is what's wrong with, I would not even say America, the world.
Yeah, it's a worldwide phenomenon.
It's a worldwide phenomenon that Camille can get hired before other people.
So then, no, but she's not working, is she?
She said, I'm just working right now.
No, he says that.
Oh, he did?
So I was going to say Camille got a job. Like, I was trying to make it make sense in my brain. I'm like, no, I just don't believe it. But he gets a text from Camille, and Camille's like, hey, baby, I miss you. What's going on? Because Camille wants to get some FaceTime action in so she can be on camera. You know, thirsty-ass Camille. Yeah. And Ben is now liking the other girl, so he has no interest. So he texts, oh, hi, I'm working right now. Bye.
That makes a lot more sense to me. I feel like order has been restored. It's still fucked up, but at least it's not fucked up in that way.
It's okay. So Tyler helps Rachel prepare yogurt or something, and then Rachel's like,
"Yeah, put it on itself. It gets the lotion on the skin, or it gets hosed again."
And Tyler's like, "I don't know where you come up with half of this stuff." Tyler, you've been living as a straight person for long enough to know Silence of the Lambs. That's a straight movie.
Excuse me, Buffalo Bill is a gay icon. Like, you should know who Buffalo Bill is. Hello.
Well, so is Jodie Foster, I guess.
Yeah, very gay movie.
So is Hannibal Lecter, I guess. I mean, on that show, Hannibal, they
Fava
even kind of...
Bean's a gay bean.
That is a gay bean. That is a size queen of a bee. A bean.
Lambs. Literally every single aspect of that movie is super gay if you think about it.
You're right.
I mean, there's as close to full frontal nudity in that movie as you can get.
God, I love the show Hannibal. Did you ever watch it on? No, it's not your type of show. But on NBC, they had a show called Hannibal. It was so gross and good. It was really good. Okay, so the point
the way that one prisoner spits at Jodie Foster, that is a gay spit. That is like,
he doesn't spit at her. No, he doesn't spit at her.
Oh, you're right.
He jerks off into his hand and then splats splooge on her.
You're right.
Yeah. Right? Isn't that what happened?
No, you're right. You're right.
Did I just make that grosser in my... And Ross is like, I can do that. You know that Ross is in there like, I can do that on demand. Just see someone coming down a hole, get it ready and split it out.
He definitely does some sort of weird Sounds of the Lambs role playing. Yeah. You know?
So then we go to Ben and Leanne, and she's like, you're such a cool she's like, you're such a cool guy, aren't you? You're a cool guy, aren't you? Such a cool guy. Such a cool guy, Kingsley. So she fixes his collar, and he's like, now let me fix your collar.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a collar flirtation. Very Remains of the Day, as adapted to like modern day, you know? And so then Ben is telling us, Camille and I, like, we're texting every other day, and there's definitely some unfinished business between us, which anyone who's watching Love Island UK hears the term unfinished business. Like, they go like this because they just know that's a disaster, because the worst person on that show is always saying, there's some unfinished business. So, Leanne... It's the worst. So Leanne tells us, she's like, Ben and I, we've been like chatting for over a year now, and like I'm so excited because the chemistry... A month? Over a month? But I thought so. Have I gotten any notes right today, Ronnie? I just
love that you're making it as romantic as they're trying to make it on the. It's a week-long relationship from somebody that you showed your dick to on the Tinder. I mean, come on.
No, I thought that I thought that they were flirting for a year. It's just a month-long relationship.
Maybe. Listen, I wrote month. Maybe you're right. Maybe
Ben and I, we've been flirting for an indiscriminate amount of time, and for a certain amount of time that we're not going to say because it would date the show. So I'm so excited because the chemistry was there on the phone. And I mean, admittedly, I was very excited because I thought I was having a lesbian romance with the Vice President of the United States. And now being with Ben on board, like, there's chemistry there. It's no-brainer.
I'm the type of girl who will go for what I want. And she's like, you're a great guy. There's not many great guys like you out there, are there? You're a great guy. Like, yeah, you go for it, Leanne. Yeah. You're basically sitting on his face right now. So Ben's like, well, now I've got this other temptation. Oh, what am I going to do? Too many ladies in love with me.
And then Leanne is like, he's like, this is going to be trouble. This is going to be trouble. She's like, I'm all in or nothing. This boy better be ready. That's the alleged cliffhanger that we're supposed to hear about, is whether these two hook up.
Yes, and now probably only 19 more episodes of watching this 6-day relationship unfold.
Well, Camille, in her low temperature love affair with Ben, will she have her heart broken?
Oh, God.
Will she survive? I don't know. I do not know.
She will survive. She will survive.
Once you've been
For
broken
as
up
long as I know how to love, I know I'm still alive.
Hey, no disco, wrong genre.
Wrong decade, wrong genre. Damn it.
Anyway, on that note,
stupid girl. That was garbage. I apologize to garbage. That's the end of the episode. Everyone, thank you for being here, for watching, and we'll be back later tomorrow with some Real Housewives of New Jersey, everyone. So
this is also Dwell Hello Week, so there will be a new Dwell Hello up on our Wondery Plus feed. You guys should go check that out. Those are House Hunters recaps, and they're really fun. So go check that out. And thanks to everybody for being here, and go get ticket links over at watchwhatcrappens.com. Shall ya? You shall.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Dana C. Dana Do. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Can't stop fanning over Tina Manning.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Christy Wowardy Dowardy.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Undo your fasteners, it's Aaron Kastner.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill. Make it lastner with Aaron Kastner.
We want to hang with Liz Lang. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Shannon out of a cannon Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.